Many clients ask, what is the main reason or the root cause to my health issue? Why am I having these symptoms? And the answer to that is the same for everyone. It's the overall stress on the body. My name is Megan Davey. I'm an integrative healing practitioner, and today I'm going to be talking about a bank account that no one really ever talks about, and that is the body bank account. Our bodies are so wise and can do a million processes all at one time. So we have these bodies that are really programmed to restore themselves, and somehow over the last 100 years, our ability to restore ourselves has become broken. To try to give you a visual, we were all born with our reserve. Our bodies are meant to handle so much. They're meant to handle a lot. And nowadays, since post-industrial evolution, we are putting way too much stress on the body. So the body bank account goes like this. Let's pretend that we were born with $100,000 in our body bank account. You're born, you get your childhood immunizations, you're formula fed, you start eating processed, crappy foods. You might have a really stressful childhood, and that emotional trauma could be what starts taking out the withdrawals. So you start off with $100,000 and you're a pretty healthy baby, but it's after withdrawal, after withdrawal, after withdrawal. You could have childhood illness, again, withdrawal. These viruses that are normal for kids to have and are meant to prime the immune system end up being withdrawals. And then you get into your teenage years, maybe even your 20s, and you start to get sick. At this point, you're starting to have symptoms, and what's happened is that you've made all the withdrawals and there's nothing there. There's nothing left. You are now in debt. So you make more and more withdrawals. Maybe you turn to modern medicine, pharmaceuticals that again are making more withdrawals because they're putting more burden on the body. They're toxic to the body. We end up seeing people going further and further into debt, and we get incredibly sick. And eventually, some people, it's really, really sad, but they do eventually pass away. That is how the body bank account works. The majority of people come into this world with some reserve, some money in their bank account, and sadly, it's really, really reduced now because the health of our moms has also been declining. If you go back 100 years ago when people were living off of farms, moms were a lot healthier then. Now, we see moms not being so healthy, having children who are coming out of the womb already depleted and already having health issues. Then they get hit with a few doses of vaccinations and boom, the body is overburdened and doesn't have the reserves that it needs to put itself back together again. Because again, before we might have been born with over $100,000 in our body bank account, and now some of us are only born with like 10. So it doesn't take as long for the body to exhibit symptoms and being broken and not working, showing us signs that the body is in debt. For the majority of people, like myself, I was born with a bank account. It probably wasn't extremely high. I was formula fed. I got my childhood vaccinations. I was also premature, and there were no deposits being made. And that's the issue here. We need to be making deposits to help bring our accounts back up instead of taking and going more and more into debt. When I got into natural healing and got an understanding of the body bank account, I understood what proper deposits were and what had to be made. And I also realized that there was a lot of deprogramming that had to be done. I grew up being told in school and by family about the standard American diet and that that's how we should be eating, processed or not, take the antibiotics, and never really learned about probiotics or any of that or how that was supposed to work. So learning to lean into natural healing, I learned that it really has to take time because it's not just about putting deposits in, but we need to be paying off the debt before we can actually build up a big enough balance that we can then pull from. So when we're looking at something like the Heal Yourself program, and this is a program that was designed with the body bank account in mind, we're starting to say, let's cut off what is making these withdrawals. Let's look into our environment and cut out the toxins. Let's clean up our diet and go towards a 90% whole foods. We're going to start making deposits, and that's running the labs, figuring out what the body needs, and we are literally giving it to the body in high doses in the form of supplements. We start to make the deposits and stop making the withdrawals. We look at the emotional stresses and we reduce the tax that has on the body through mindset work. This is the goal of the program because we are trying to help you to realize and to recognize that the root cause of the illnesses are the stressors on the body. So that's the pathogens, the toxins, the heavy metals, the emotional stress. These are the things that are constantly taking withdrawals from your body. So we start turning things around for the body. We make our deposits through supplements. We stop with the withdrawals, and we also focus on passion and purpose, which is the ultimate deposit. So that's how the bank account works, the body bank account. It's recognizing that in order to heal, we need to stop the withdrawals, we need to start making the deposits, and we need to give our body the time. Because if we are over minus $150,000 in debt, you're not going to be paying all of that loan off right away. The body needs the time with the supplements. It needs the time with the nutrients that you're giving it. It needs the time away from the emotional stress in order to build back up again. And that's what happens when people start to feel better, because that's when they start to feel more like themselves and they're more and more out of debt. They start to feel better. They get their energy back. They feel like they can take on the world, and they're all excited, and they want to go in with life with everything that they have, and they want to make up for all of the time that they lost when they were feeling unwell. And that's what they don't realize, is that they might be out of debt, but they only have like $10 in their bank account. So they burn through it very, very quickly. They start to feel less good, less energy. They get really discouraged. That's why during the healing process, we're really trying to remind people that you need to take time, take things slowly. You don't want to put more burden on the body too quickly while it's still trying to build up reserves to heal itself. That's where we want to keep the body's energy as much as we can. It's towards healing itself. We want to keep putting in the deposits and give the body the time so we can build those reserves up. And when we do exercise, you might bring your body reserves down a little bit, but you still have enough for your body to not be depleted. Plus, you're still adding in more deposits again. So that's the point that we want to get to, is that when you're doing the physical activity, you're not putting yourself back into debt because you still have extra to pull from. So that's why you got to take things slow. What we need to do is get more aware of ourselves, how we feel, what feels right for our body, and what our body can handle, and start to honor our body as it's healing. We don't want to be burning through all of our reserves that we've worked up on running a marathon right away. We need to take time and take things slowly. Listen to your body. Start with something smaller, like a 10-minute walk, and build your way up so that your body can get properly used to your activity levels again. Do things that fuel you. With your body bank account in mind, that brings us to exercise during healing. This is going to be different for everyone, because there might be some clients when we're working and we're looking at their test markers, once we've been putting in proper deposits for a while, their markers look good and there's just a little bit of tweaking that needs to be done. So they can go ahead and do whatever exercise that brings them joy. But there will also be some people who have bigger autoimmune issues, or someone that might have a lot of adrenal dysfunction. And at that point, I'd say walking. Walking is something that anyone can do, even if they're very ill or really out of shape. This is enough to start. We need to respect the body and be paying attention. If you're exhausted after walking for 30 minutes, you've done too much, and you need to honor your body and its signals and messages when it's telling you, hey, that's too much, I'm exhausted afterwards. You just need to pay attention. You need to tone it down, put a day in between. We need to rest and gradually build up to help support the body properly. We need to recognize what's causing stress in our body. It's really hard to reprogram ourselves to understand that exercise, if your labs are showing that your body is still in dysfunction and is still working hard on rebuilding itself, exercise can do more damage than good. It's counterproductive. It's putting more stress on your body, therefore taking away your body's energy that it should be using to repair itself. Exercise puts your body in a state of needing to break itself down. And it's not to say that all exercise is bad, but when you are ill and working on healing, it is. You're in debt and you're putting yourself further into debt with doing excessive exercise. This is something that I struggled to understand, and I did workout programs for like 4 years trying to lose weight and never found success in, because my body was too depleted and I was doing way more harm than good for myself. Just to prove what I'm talking about, the photo on the left, this was when I was working 45 minutes a day, HIIT programs. I was doing 5 to 7 days a week, and I weighed 208 pounds. This was the heaviest that I'd ever been in my life, and I was not losing the weight no matter what I tried to do. Once I started the Heal Yourself program and understood the body was in incredible debt and understood the body bank account, I stopped the withdrawals and I made the deposits, and I stopped exercising since I had learned the cues that my body was making and understood it was telling me that it couldn't handle the exercises right now. The picture on the right was after 8 months of using supplements as deposits, limiting my withdrawals as much as I could, and I wasn't exercising at all. I want to stress that. Like, comparison photos, I was exercising and then I wasn't exercising anymore. I was focused on healing my body and allowing the energy that my body was creating to fully be put towards repairing itself. In the second picture, I was weighing 153 pounds. I know for some people, understanding that exercise might not be doing as much good as they're hoping to will be really, really hard. Some people feel that exercise is the only thing that makes them feel good. They love the dopamine high that they get after exercise, which is understandable. But that could also be linked too to our body's neurotransmitters not being fully into balance. If your body is craving dopamine, it could be because it isn't creating enough of it on its own. So your neurotransmitters are out of balance and there's some dysfunction there. So once we support the neurotransmitters, you'll feel supported with your dopamine and you won't feel that need to exercise to find that high because your body will have what it needs already and it will already be supported. So then you can get to the point of exercising and doing it because you love to do it, but no longer doing it because it's the only thing that makes you feel good anymore. So forms of exercise that honor the body and the body bank account for people who are ill would be walking, stretching, light yoga. And I'm going to put emphasis again on light yoga because I'm not saying to go off and do hot yoga. That again just puts more stress on the body. I'm not talking about the intense yoga programs out there. I'm saying light yoga. And ultimately, you need to be paying attention and listening to your body. If you're feeling extremely exhausted after any of these things, like walking, stretching, and light yoga, your body is saying, hey, I'm having a really hard time. And you need to just break it down even further and take your time. Being a little tired afterwards is fine, but I'm talking about like, wow, I feel exhausted. I have no more energy. I feel completely depleted. You need to be paying attention to your body's signals so that you can honor it and respect it while it's in a healing state. So that's the body bank account analogy. I hope that makes sense. And if you're looking for a practitioner to help you on your healing journey, you can go to my website at www.harmonyhiveintegrativehealing.com. Go to approach. From there, you're going to see the Heal Yourself program method. You're going to see my packages and what I have to offer. And at the bottom, you'd be able to book yourself a free health assessment. I look forward to hearing from you.